I grew up in New York City, and when I was 14, that was 1975 or 76, I got a job handing out flyers for a hair salon. The owner told me to give flyers to women only. So I stood on East 42nd Street and offered flyers to each woman who walked past. One day I held out a flyer to someone, and as they got closer, I saw what I, at 14, perceived as a man in women's clothing and makeup. I snatched my hand away. This was the first time I'd seen a transgender person, and my first interaction with her was a microaggression. I wish I could find her today and apologize. And I just want to say I do forgive my 14-year-old self. Othering is what happens when we focus on the differences between ourselves and a different group, rather than on what we have in common. This is the root of so many of our isms and phobias. Taken to an extreme, the fear and hatred lead to violence and even death. This is kind of an announcement, but on Thursday, there will be a Trans Day of Remembrance Memorial at Hunt Union at SUNY from 7 to 9 p.m., and there all the names will be read. For today, I chose to focus on the 6 reported victims of anti-trans and non-binary violence in New York State: Caitlin, Sam, Parker, Elisa Ray, Sid, and Honey. 2 of them were murdered, and 4 died by suicide. Whether a trans or gender nonconforming person has died by another's hand or their own, we know it was prompted by other people's fear and hatred of the other. The current regime has put the gender-expansive community under a microscope, seeking to magnify our differences and erase our commonalities. They're trying to make every trans and non-binary person live in fear. And it's been working. As an example, a new study by the Trevor Project shows that in states that passed anti-transgender laws aimed at minors, suicide attempts by trans and gender nonconforming teenagers increased by as much as 72%. The end result of all this hatred and fear are violence, murder, and suicide. Not always, but you know what I mean. Each of our readers will tell us about one of the people we honor today, and then light a candle and leave a flower on the chancel table. The candle is so their memory lives on, and the white rose symbolizes their innocence.
Caitlin Renetta Benoit, age 15. Born October 1st, 2009, died March 24th, 2025, Rochester, New York. Suicide. From Caitlin's obituary. We remember Caitlin, who left us too soon. A teenager with a passion for writing, computer games, music, gardening, and baking, she searched for happiness through creative outlets. Kat also immensely enjoyed the art of fashion and thrifting, as well as borrowing clothes from her mother to create new outfits. Caitlin faced the challenges of depression, bullying, and eating disorders while bravely living as a transgender young woman, always striving to be true to herself despite the difficulties she encountered. Caitlin's life was marked by both joy in her creative passions and the struggle of living with depression. As we grieve her loss, we also honor her strength and authenticity. Caitlin's memory is a reminder of the challenges many young people face and the importance of supporting one another in times of need. We will always remember her for her irreplaceable smile and laugh, her unique sense of humor, her huge and generous heart, and the impact she's had on those around her. Sam Nordquist, age 24. He was born June 18, 2000. He died February 13, 2025 in Canandaigua, New York, tortured and beaten. The Remembrance is from Face to Face Academy, Sam's forever school. In the days and weeks ahead, you will hear a great deal about Sam, namely about the tragic and unspeakable things that he endured. In the last months of his life, he will be at the center of a national conversation about our increasing inability to see each other's humanity. Don't get us wrong. We welcome this conversation. It must happen. We worry, however, in the effort to make sure nothing like this ever occurs again. Sam, the person, will be swept away in the wave of someone else's hate. We are here to tell you that he was also loved. This past August, Sam visited the school to tell us all about his plans. He was excited to start living his most authentic life and optimistic about his future. That was the last time we heard from Sam. When we tell Sam Nordquist's story, we will have to include both the love and the hate. We can choose to embrace his example of love. We must have the courage to fight all forms of hate. And because he would have done it for us, we shall always stand up for Sam.
Parker Savarese, age 15, May 17, 2009 to January 8, 2025, Setauket, New York, possible suicide. This is adapted from Parker's obituary, which dead-named and misgendered them. A 10th grader at Ward Melville High School, Parker was deeply involved in the school's theater program, serving as a prop master and a Ward Melville player. Their passion for the arts was evident in their dedication and creativity, inspiring their peers and bringing numerous productions to life. Beyond the stage, Parker had a profound love for reading, art, and children. They were an avid fan of horror movies and Marvel, with a special affection for Spider-Man, often drawing inspiration from these stories in their own creative endeavors. Parker's generosity and affection made everyone feel special. Their ability to connect with others, coupled with their compassionate nature, left a lasting impression on all who had the privilege of knowing them. Their legacy of kindness and creativity will continue to inspire the community. Parker's departure leaves an irreplaceable void in our hearts, but their spirit will remain with us, inspiring acts of kindness, creativity, and love.
Elisa Ray Shoup, she was 61, born August 10th, 1963, and died January 27th, 2025, in Syracuse, New York, by suicide. This is adapted from Wikipedia. Elisa Ray Shoup was a soldier in the United States Army. She retired in 2000 as a Sergeant First Class with a number of military decorations. In 2016, she became the first person in the United States to obtain legal recognition of a non-binary gender. She released a statement in 2019 explaining that she had, quote, returned to her male birth sex, unquote. In 2022, she published a statement reclaiming her trans identity and condemning the anti-trans movement for using her story to push conversion therapy. Elisa died by suicide outside the Syracuse VA Medical Center. At the time she passed, her body was draped with the trans flag.
Sydney Leigh Phillips, Sid for short, age 22, born July 31st, 2002, and died November 5th, 2024, East Islip, New York, by suicide. These are 3 of her friends' remembrances. I will never know anyone quite like Sydney again. She was truly one of a kind and a dear friend. I'll carry our many memories. Rest easy, Sid. That was from Lydia. From Mary Jane, Sydney was such an amazing, such a kind-hearted soul. I was so amazed by her. She said she wanted to take classes at BCC this spring to get certified to be an EMT, and I just thought, you are amazing to want to save lives. And I told her I can't wait to see you on campus in the spring. Just know that she made such an impact on anyone that came in contact with her. Just knowing her for 5 months, I know what a gift she was to this earth. And it will not be the same without her in it, truly. You will not be forgotten, Sydney. Please be at peace. And from Jorge, thank you, Sid. You were always very beautiful when you didn't mean to be. I'll remember just how lucky we all were just to be close to you. How blessed we've been by the fact that you were near. We'll miss that blessing. I'll miss you. Till we meet again, girl.
Honey Daniels, age 37, born August 18th, 1987, died October 2nd, 2024, in Rochester, New York, of a hit-and-run incident. Honey was known among loved ones for her charming personality, love of superhero movies, and hair and makeup skills. A friend of 22 years described her as someone who could make anyone look like a movie star, and who was a big portion of the LGBTQ community in Buffalo and Rochester. Honey brought beauty inside and out to those around her, and she should still be here today to celebrate the next Marvel release or eyeshadow palette drop. Instead, her life has been cut short in such a horrendous way that unfortunately reflects the disregard far too many Black trans women face every day. This by Tori Cooper of the Human Rights Campaign Director of Community Engagement for the Transgender Justice Initiative.
Thank you.
Hi. Recently, we lost a young man. His name was Harvey James Ferris. I'll just read you his obituary. And he did have a very supportive family. His pronouns and everything are correct in his obituary. And he was very loved in his small bubble. It's that outer world that really seemed to get to him. Harvey James Ferris, 19, passed away Tuesday, November 4th, 2025. He was born on November 15th, 2005 in Cooperstown. The son of William Ferris and Christina Bushima, Harvey worked as a rock wall adventure instructor along with the maintenance crew at the Clark Sports Center in Cooperstown. Harvey's infectious smile and big heart carried through his work in every kid he ever met. When not at the sports center, he was pursuing a career in welding at MVCC and wanted to be a tattoo artist. Harvey was a 2023 graduate of Skeneva Central School and the ONC BOCES welding program. He was a member of the cross-country and track teams at Skenevas. One of his proudest moments was being selected to be on homecoming court by his peers. Harvey was an amazing soul who sadly left this world too soon. Harvey enjoyed longboarding on any open road, snowboarding on fresh powder if it meant a day with family and friends, scary movies, Harry Potter, concerts, NASCAR, motorcycles, hiking, collecting rocks, Legos, and anything Halloween. Harvey could cure any mood with a hug. His love was unmeasurable. His presence was just a joy to be around. His smile could capture so many hearts. Harvey is loved and survived by his parents, Christina Bushima and William and Heather Ferris, beloved sister Catherine Ferris, multiple grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews, and his closest friends. We ask family and friends to honor Harvey by wearing Harry Potter, Black, or Gothic-like clothing, as well as listening to rock or jam bands such as Led Zeppelin, Phish, Goose, Alice Cooper, and AC/DC. They're holding his memorial on November 21st at the Second Baptist Church in Worcester, so the day after the Trans Day of Remembrance. So, thank you.
So I thank everybody for sharing. Caitlin, Sam, Elisa Ray, Parker, Sid, Honey, and Harvey lived in a world that didn't work hard enough to keep them with us. Let us take each of them into our hearts and learn to love them for all of who they were. Amen, and so mote it be.